So the fallout continues from Friday night. Leeds are back in action tonight. We can head back to Elland Road and rejoin Bryn Law. Bryn.
Leeds United fans beginning to gather here at Elland Road ahead of tonight's game against Charlton, the first game the club's played since the infamous events of Friday evening against Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough. Joining me to talk about that now is Leeds United supporter and Trust board member Paul Keat. It was a bad night for the club and the club supporters, wasn't it, Paul?
It was a step back to the 80s. We as a club and as a trust and all Leeds United supporters thought we'd progressed, thought we'd actually moved on from that kind of thing. Obviously historically we'd had this kind of element within our support, but with the work of so many people within the club, we thought we'd moved on from there, but it appears that we've maybe not made as much progress as we anticipated.
I think in a sense it almost lived down to the expectations of the wider football watching public. They have a perception of Leeds United, don't they?
Yeah. Well, certainly it's something that we would have liked not to have happened. We accept it has happened, but really we need to move on from that really from now. And certainly the feedback that we've had as a trust over the last 3 or 4 days since Friday night has been one of unification, that everybody is really against this kind of thing, and we really hope moving on from here that we were able to regain the ground that we've lost maybe from Friday night and move on into the future as well.
Does that element remain amongst Leeds United support, or has it come back again?
I think it's something that has always remained there, and there's certain experiences in our history in the last 20 years which have brought that element back. It's certainly a historical thing. Like I said, it's something that we hope we've actually got past, and we hope that obviously moving forward that we can actually eradicate that from the club and from the support.
I've been talking with Dave Jones today. I know he'd made a comment about Leeds United supporters on Friday which wasn't necessarily well received by the majority in this city, and he's stepped back from that now, but what he is saying now is that he thinks the majority, the good people, should take control of the minority, the bad people, not just at Leeds but at all clubs, including his own.
Yeah, I think we should really, real supporters should take a step forward. And certainly there is a number of bits of evidence around over the last few days that are talking about self-policing. I think that has always been a critical thing that we as supporters need to provide, obviously in conjunction with the club. It's essential that we as supporters move on from these events, and that we're able to put it behind us and become better because of it, because at the end of the day we're Leeds United.
It wasn't just about the attack, was it? It was about the chanting from both sets of supporters, but the level of insults there have risen to new and unpleasant heights.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, and certainly it's the minority, and certainly when you look at the majority of Leeds fans, and certainly the feedback that we've had as a trust over the last 3 or 4 days on our social media and such, it's been entirely against these kind of things. And when you see things like that, it is entirely minority. It's a minority of 1 or 2 people who have spoiled it.
If the guy standing next to you is indulging in that behaviour, is it down to you to say, that's not right, you've got to stop?
That's where the difficulty comes in. It depends if you actually know the guy, and certainly there could be potential problems arising from that. We certainly wouldn't advocate taking the law into your own hands, but certainly we can, as supporters, we can influence those around us, and we can be an example of what should actually be occurring, what good supporters are. It may be a dream, it may be something that can happen or might not be able to happen, but I think it's the responsibility of our own consciences to be proper Leeds fans, not like we saw on Friday.
So there you go. Leeds United as a club, I'm sure, and as a support group, will be hoping for a quieter evening in many senses, a more positive evening as Leeds United take on Charlton here at Elland Road tonight.